it's Selene here with Swanky Mountain. It has been a hot minute, but hopefully with the help of my children, we will start, oh goodness, that was a terrible choice, start having these videos again, because I have been making like crazy if you have been following us on Instagram. So let's get the, the little things out of the way. If you find this video helpful at any point in time, if you could hit a like button below, that would be amazing. If you want more pattern reviews and tidbit videos, make sure to hit subscribe, as I love to make these and hope to make lots more. And yeah, I think that's it. Oh, and hop over to Insta or Facebook, wherever you like to hang out, and follow me over there, because always doing fun stuff. So today, as my comeback, we are going to be talking about the Stargazer Throw by Two of Wands. This pattern is a blanket pattern that she calls for Lion Brand Hue and Me, which is a bulky yarn, and a size and crochet hook. I made mine out of Country Classic, which is a worsted weighted yarn that I super duper love. It is, should have grabbed one, do it real quick, 218 yards, and looks like this. That's upside down. Looks like that. It's made from Sadar, which is affiliated with Rowan, and I love them. Super great yarn. This is a 50% wool and acrylic blend, but of course, since the pattern calls for a bulky and I chose worsted, I had to do a little bit of math. So here is what hers looked like. And here is what mine looks like. So, and I'm actually getting ready to start my second one. Whoop. But it's fabulous. And this yarn really, honestly, frankly, smells amazing too. Like every time I pick it up, I just want to smell it. It sounds weird, but it does. It smells so good. So I did a gauge swatch first because I don't crochet a ton, but I wanted to make sure that I had roughly the same size as she had in her pattern, which is a 42-inch by 56-inch blanket. I cast, her initial pattern says to cast on 129. I cast on 186. That way I still had the correct number for the amount of repeats that we needed, and also had the roughly the same amount of width. Now, as I mentioned, I don't crochet a bunch, but I had a very good friend of mine suggest to do a foundational row. And if that is something that you have not tried before, I highly recommend it. There's a couple different videos depending on what kind of stitch you need after you create your foundation. Let's see, here is my foundational row. See if I can turn it right here. And this is with a double crochet, English term double crochet, which meant that I had to do it a specific way. There's one for a single crochet, one for a half double. And if you just drop that in the search bar, you will find lots of videos. You can also, on my Instagram, I have one of my reels kind of walk through a little bit on how to do it. Great tool, like cut my anxiety about this project down dramatically. Totally worth it. I did the foundation row, and then I just proceeded to follow the pattern as written. I just had, instead of 129 or 127 stitches, I had 180. Oh shoot, that's not quite right. I did 186 stitches is what I had, but I had, yes, and because I didn't chain, I didn't have to worry about, the extra, because she had 2 extra stitches for that first, so she double crocheted into that second chain from the chain row, which I obviously didn't have to do because I did the foundation row. See why it's amazing? Then after you're done, you don't have to sew in any of your ends because you use all of them to make this amazing fringe. I have never been much of a fringe girl, but this was a lot of fun, and this blanket serves as a store sample, so it gets moved around and played with quite a bit. And the fringe is holding up fantastically, and her instructions for it, excuse me, are pretty clear too. There were, as always with me, several moments where I questioned my sanity and what I was doing, but overall, this was a fantastic make. I cannot recommend this pattern enough. Like I said, super easy to read, super straightforward, and if you did it in a bulky yarn, it would take even less time than it took me to do in a worsted yarn. However, it was totally worth it. In the end, to get the width I wanted, I did, I don't know, some rows. But that's the great thing about this pattern is once you get, so your length, what you cast on is this long ways, and then you just go however wide you want it to be. Mine is not as quite as wide as hers. I want, in the end, when I like held it up, I was like, oh, that feels too wide. So I only went to this amount, which took me 5 skeins of the cream and then 1 skein of each of the 4 colors I used. In this new one I'm making, I'm only using 2 colors and alternating them. I have a main color is the cream again, and then my 2 other colors are like a darker brown and a red, like a Merlot-y kind of color. And I'm just alternating the 2 of those. So that's an option too. You could straight up do just 2 colors, period. 1 of the main color and then 1 as your accent in each spot. So lots of flexibility there, which I think is also a great reason why this should be on your to make list for this fall, or really anytime, because it's a great piece. I'm super glad to be back making these videos for you, and I hope that if you have any questions that you drop them into the comments below or shoot me a message. I'm happy to answer them to the best of my ability or refer you to another great site or resource. Most importantly, I hope that you heavily consider casting on this blanket, because for a knitter who only crochets occasionally, this crochet blanket has been a joy to make, enough so that I am making a second one. And I hope that you will consider making one for yourself as well. Until next time, I hope that your day is filled with light and love and yarn.